the OAD, or the Office of Astronomy for Development, also runs its own call. So this is independent of the IU100 call, and the OAD call has been run for every year since 2012. So the aim for this call is slightly different from a regular outreach funding proposal. So what we want to do is try to use astronomy, and when I mean astronomy, I mean the body of knowledge in astronomy, but also the people in astronomy, whether the professional astronomers, amateur astronomers, astronomy enthusiasts, as well as the tools and methods of astronomy. So use all these things in various ways to have a positive impact on society. So we call it development. So we call it using astronomy for development. And in defining development, we use the sustainable development goals that Samir mentioned. So these are the goals adopted by the UN, adopted by almost every country in the world, and these are the goals for the world until 2030. So these include things like reducing poverty, eliminating hunger, and addressing climate action, and a lot of other goals. So there are 17 goals, in fact. Now the question is always, what does astronomy have to do with ending hunger or any of the other goals? So in fact, the plan was drawn up 10 years ago. They plan to use astronomy for development, and the people who draw up the plan, the IEU, actually used this diagram to sort of encapsulate why astronomy is an effective tool to be used for development. It's because astronomy as a field is very, very interdisciplinary. So it links to science and research, of course, and various fields of science. So there's astrophysics, astrochemistry, astrobiology, astrogeology, even, and lots of other fields. But also astronomy speaks to a lot of technology. So in order to do astronomy, people had to invent technology, and these technologies then found applications in everyday life. So everybody always talks about the CCDs, which were actually invented for astronomy and now is used in almost every device that takes pictures. So there's also development in computing that came about as a result of needs in astronomy, development in optics, and so on. So the third side is the connection to culture and society. So astronomy has always had a deep impact on humans, and we have had a long history with the sky. So every community, every tribe, every society in the world has some history with the sky, with the stars and the planets. So it easily inspires and fascinates people, and we want to use all these things together in order to try to reach the SDGs, or the Sustainable Development Goals. So I'll just show a few examples of how previously funded OED projects have done this. So in the middle there you see the 17 SDGs, and we have like various boxes pointing to some of the SDGs. So if you see SDG 4 is quality education, and we have funded projects that have used astronomy to build capacity at school level, university level, done teacher training. So these projects have actually used astronomy as a gateway to teach other subjects like mathematics or even literacy. If you see goal number 5, gender equality, so astronomy has been used to reach girls and also women, to promote science among women. So this can also be done in various ways. Then of course astronomy needs sort of observatories that are remote, away from pollution, whether it's visible or other forms of pollution. This means that astronomy observatories tend to be located in areas where there are where the region itself is not as highly developed as a big city. This actually is an opportunity for the astronomy community to to work with the people who actually live near the telescope. So we have funded an astronomy observatory program in Indonesia, which did just that. They worked with the community to understand their needs and then try to help them wherever possible. There's also astrotourism, which is linked to what I just said. People want to see these big telescopes, these marvels of technology, and there is an opportunity for tourism industry, and also, in cases where these observatories are remotely located, it's an opportunity for the local community to benefit from this added tourism. So there's also astronomy for diplomacy, bringing communities together that might have conflicts or other reasons, not to have, other historical reasons why they did not work together or live together. So astronomy maybe can be used as a tool in these cases to bring people together with a shared love for the sky. So these were the projects that we funded ourselves in the last 6 years or so. But there have been other efforts outside of the OAD, obviously, who have also used astronomy in various ways to benefit society. So this project called the STFC Food Network is being funded by the UK government, is trying to apply astronomy related techniques to improve food production, distribution, and so on. So astronomy is just one of the fields that is being used in this project. It's a very interdisciplinary project, but astronomers do find a prominent place. So it's actually not a very obvious link using astronomy to solve the world's hunger crisis.
Yeah.
And there's another one that recently was in the news using astronomy techniques. So the techniques that are used to detect stars are being applied to detect animals in wildlife conservation. So this then links to goal number 14 and 15, life below water, life on land. Again, not very non-obvious connections. So astronomy is being used in a lot of different ways. A couple more examples in this slide where it links to goal 11, sustainable cities and communities, and goal number 3, good health and well-being. So there are many different ways astronomy are being used. And again, this is not just limited to astronomy. Other fields have their own strengths that are being applied, and that can be applied in the cause of global development. So astronomers, or the people in the astronomy community, including those doing outreach, would in the future possibly have to work with people in other fields in order to find ways to use the knowledge in these fields to promote development.